Hello, my name is Dallas DeClerck, and I am presenting on Native American traditions. I'm going to talk about some key points that I have found interesting while researching Native American traditions. These include Native American religion, Cahokia mounds, 7 Native American traditions, and the Native American church and peyote ceremonies. Religion. There are around 500 Native American tribes found in all 50 states. They credit their survival to the strong spiritual connections they created through religion. Religion is their way of life. It is not separate from their government, art, or medicine. There is no word in the Native American languages that actually means religion. The Native Americans came here thousands of years ago, and many religious diversities were developed. Diplomacy and how they ran their tribes were influenced by religious ceremonies and rituals. There is not one universal religion among all Native Americans. According to the Pluralism website, if one were to try and understand just their religion as a whole, they would be very confused. To better understand their spiritual and religious beliefs, we must look at the geography in different tribes individually. Each tribe has their own set of beliefs and rules. A major part of fulfilling Native American religious life is participation. There are still many places today where we can go and visit where Native Americans once performed their spiritual ceremonies and rituals. An interesting place I want to talk about is Cahokia Mounds. It's located right here in Collinsville, Illinois, and is on the Mississippi River. There are 120 earthen mounds that they made back then. Now there are only 68 preserved. The civilization was occupied between AD 700 to 1400. The physical labor that it took for the ancient Indians to build these mounds was tremendous. They would haul soil on their backs in a basket up the mound. There were 3 main types of mounds that I want to talk about: flat top, platform, conical, and ridge top. The different types of mounds had different purposes. Conical and ridgetop mounds were mainly for landmarks and burial sites. Flat-top platform mounds were more used for ceremonies and rituals. They held temples and political buildings. Cahokia mounds became the place of religious gatherings and contributed to the trade network between the Rocky Mountains and the Gulf of Mexico. It is a site of sacred significance. Long ago, one would go there and be able to hear many different languages and participate in many different ceremonies and trade goods. According to one article, it stated that something horrific might have happened at the site. There are many theories out there that drought hit it, disease, war, or weather that could have caused a dramatic change in the Cahokian population. The strange thing is that there are no legends or even mentioning of the city and other surrounding tribes. Cahokia was very central to other tribes and right in the middle of America. That's why it was a major trade network. There are 7 major Native American traditions that I want to touch on. 1, the medicine man. 2, the totem animal. 3, Native American dances. 4, sand painting. 5, splendid spirit. 6, Kachina doll. 7, dream catchers. Okay, the medicine man. The medicine man term is described as a tribal member who is at the vital top of the tribe. Medical men in their culture is equivalent to today's priests. They were known as religious doctors. The tribe members that would be suffering, the medical man would perform rituals to heal them. 2 is the totem animal. In Native American traditions, the power or existence of an animal lives in every tribal member. I would like to read a quote I have on here from the article 7 Incredible Traditions of the Native American on medium.com website. One of the more popular beliefs was that tribal members accepted a name of their guardian angel or power to guide their spirits. This defines how much religion is ingrained in them daily. They harness and call to their animal's name to help them get through life. We also think about how the Indians use the sun and sky to navigate and pray. This infers that there is a strong link between astrology and animal symbolism. This animal symbolism helps in defining the character within that person and what role they will play within the community. This is a major part of their religion and who they pray to and try to find meaning in. Number 3 is Native American dances. There are many occasions that Native Americans would celebrate and dance at, such as weddings, winning a battle, or a good year of harvest. These dances and songs were called powwows, and they were celebrated with ritual dancing. This is a way to show how appreciative they were and give respect to the land and their relationships. I would like to talk about a spiritual movement that took place in the late 1880s called the Ghost Dance. This dancing ceremony was done to put hope in the hearts of Native Americans when things started to get bad between them and the whites, as they called them. Wovoka, an Indian, was the founder of the movement. He had a dream, and in this dream, it took place in the spirit world and started with all the Native Americans being collected up in the sky. And then the earth, showing her mighty power, took the whites away and returned the Native Americans back to their land. The end result was that the Native Americans could live in peace again. In order for this dream to become reality, he was shown a certain dance. This dance involved moving in a circular round dance motion over and over again until it became reality. This movement quickly spread to other Native American tribes, and soon many of them were performing the ghost dance. 4 is sand painting. For sand painting, they used different materials to make works of art to show deep symbolism. The sand painting was done in ceremonies and during healing procedures. They had to have a flat base to create their work, and they used cornmeal and pollen, a variety of colors, to make pictures. 5. The Splendid Spirit. Wakan Taka is everywhere in tribal life and is at the center of the universe. This spirit includes the heavens, Great Spirit Mother, and Mother Nature. These three make up what is called a blessed circle. This circle is represented by Earth's rotation, meal elements, and stars. Once again, astrology comes into play. The Indians of the plains had a strong feeling about this bond with the higher spirit. They used the power from them in exchange for power over the animals. 6. The Kachina doll. The Kachina doll represents the spirit of Hopi and was given to children. There are many different meanings behind each doll that was given to each certain tribal children. Spirits were said to be in the dolls representing gods, animals, or deceased tribesmen. 7. Dream catchers. A dream catcher is a very well-known tradition and something Americans use today. The simplistic idea of it was to catch the bad dreams in the web from getting to the person and let the good dreams knew which fibers to go down. These dream catchers were made from natural materials such as feathers and threads. Dreams hung in the night air according to Native American traditions. The talisman is a dream catcher that is to teach the wisdom of nature. Ojibwa tribe was the creator of the talisman. I would like to talk a little bit about Native American church and peyote ceremonies. Peyote can generally be described as a hallucinogen or drug. It comes from the dried fruit of a small cactus. Like many other traditions, the ceremonies that they celebrated could be baptism, funerals, or a healing ceremony. During these ceremonies, there were healers that helped guide the people, and they called them roadmen. This helped with cleansing the mind and soul of people. It is in the article of Native American Rituals and Ceremonies that peyote ceremony can be compared to taking the drug LSD. This peyote is known as sacred medicine and is still used today. The Native American Church came about from merging the Christian teachings and Native American traditions. The Native American Church is one that still performs peyote ceremonies. They have to make sure to keep the ethical use of peyote under control. The people who follow the Native American Church must know how critical it is for them to understand the ceremonial significance of using it. Nowadays, there is a family or community that sponsors the ceremony. At these ceremonies, they sing songs, pass rattles and drums, say stories about the teachings involved with peyote. After the night of all night performing, there is usually a feast provided by the sponsor. For Indians, the main reason for the ceremonies is to grow strong in the bond of brotherhood and sisterhood with the community. In the Christian sense, everything that they have gained from the ceremony is seen as God helping them lead them to Christ. Leading this life is sometimes called Peyote Road. Some challenges today that the Native Americans face is retaining their original languages as living languages. These languages help shape the Native communities and envision land, community, and relationships. I enjoyed learning about Native American traditions, as I hope you have through this.